Where else would you rather be than right here at Center Court in McGurk for our newest episode of Chatting Chippewas, joined by third-year head coach Kristin Haynie. How the heck has it been so far leading this group now for 3 years as the head coach at Central Michigan?
It's been great. I think you have your adversity, like everything. The goal is to improve every year, so from year 1 to year 2, we improved, and then last year to this year, we're improving. So it's been great. It helps that I was an assistant here before. And being here for a few years and seeing what the culture is and the community, the support that you have here was a no-brainer why I accepted the job.
I was about to say, that's right where you would think the reason you wanted to take this job is just knowing how passionate Central Michigan fans and alums and community members are about this women's basketball program, right? Yeah,
that's the truth. When I got the job, people were texting me when I was in the community, just welcoming me with open arms when I first came on campus. And, it's just Sue Guevara built this place, built the fan base. And Heather did a good job keeping it, and the fans are still here. And you always want to go to a place that supports you, supports women's basketball, and these fans are really loyal. And it gets loud in McGurk. It doesn't matter if there's 1,000 people or 2,500. I mean, the people who come are loud. And really have to give a shout out to the band and the dance and cheer team. I noticed the band when I was an assistant here. They love Coach Sue, and they're not here just to be in the band and play, but they're really passionate about women's basketball. So talking outside of the fans, not just them, but also the people that are here that are going to school here are pretty passionate about women's basketball. And it's good to see our students are growing. We're getting more and more students at the games compared to last year, so that's been great.
Sue Guevara, she's a legend around here because she turned this program back around, got them relevant. Again, it had been since the 80s since they had been to the NCAA tournament before she was able to get them back. How much has she played a role in just your time as not just a head coach, but an assistant coach and being a mentor since you were on her staff?
Yeah, what I love about Sue is the very first time I talked to her on campus in person when I got here was, you don't work for me, you work with me. And it's just a collaboration. And that's exactly what it was. And, she wasn't above anybody. She empowered us assistants to chime in, to stop practice, to teach, and just do all the things that head coaches do. Whatever you want to do, she was going to get you there. And I was in charge of sideline out of bounds plays at the end of the game. And talk about growth, being a young assistant in the game and being able to grow in that area, because you definitely fail. You're like, I should have ran this play instead of this play. And for her to trust me in that was pretty awesome. And she's one of the main reasons why I'm here today is because of that growth and her empowering us to just get better as an assistant. And what do you need? What can I help you with and support?
They still call them slobs?
Yeah, slobs and blobs.
That's
blobs
right.
Is baseline out of bounds. Yep.
Those are kind of like, you think of football, like special teams, so important. The baseline out of bounds, the sideline out of bounds, those are important parts of the game.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like you just said, at football, you got to win on offense, defense, and special teams. And if one of those things is slacking, then the outcome might not be in your favor. So on the offense and defensive end, taking away those special situations, sideline out of bounds plays and baseline out of bounds, and not just on the offensive end, but being able to defend those plays as well.
If people watched you at Michigan State under Joanne P. McCauley, you were always regarded as the coach on the floor. So let me ask you, back then when you were playing, did you have it in your mind that you eventually wanted to be a head coach for a basketball team someday?
No, I didn't have it in my head. I thought I would always be around basketball. I don't know in what capacity. Honestly, even my freshman year going into college, I didn't know if I wanted to play pro. I didn't know where life would take me. And, I just kind of stayed in the moment, didn't think about that. But thinking back, Coach P, I think I go back to my high school coach too, really pushing me and challenging me to be that floor general, to be that leader. I'm more quiet, outside of basketball. And so on the basketball court, being a point guard, you have to be the leader. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful. So it took me a while to get outside my comfort zone. And by the time my senior year came in high school, it was like, okay, I'm an upperclassman, and it was comfortable. I was okay with it. But going into my freshman year in college, it was difficult again. And I tried to talk myself into, like, find your voice again that you had in high school. And it was just hard to tell the upperclassmen where to go on the court, you know, and just lead them. And I'm just this freshman coming in, and they're going to look at me like, who are you talking to? Because, you know, we've been here, and we're the leaders. And so I had to get away from that mindset and just think about, like, it doesn't matter. Coach Susie Merchant, another one of my mentors, always said at the point guard position, you lead by personality or your position. And if you're not very outgoing and talkative and you know, telling people where to go, if you're not comfortable with doing that, then you got to lead by position. You got to be a leader. And so I always take that with me too. And you got to be a great quarterback. You got to lead. You got to be vocal. You got to demand stuff out of your teammates. And that's hard for people who are a little bit more quiet and reserved. So, you know, just credit to Coach P for continuing to just challenge me. And I had my bad days. You know, I had days where I was upset and I'm like, this is too hard. But, you know, that's what they needed out of me.
Before we started recording, you know, Coach Haynie, she goes, do you like doing this? Because this isn't your forte. Like you said, you're not big in front of the camera or just speaking. You are more quiet. But boy, is that a huge lesson and a huge growth opportunity for you at a young age to go, well, my teammates need me. I have to find my voice. I have to be a leader. And that forced you out of your comfort zone, didn't it?
Yeah, and that's what we preach to our players. You know, like, in order to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. And this is uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to be better after this, you know. And as you practice and keep working at it, you're going to get more comfortable doing it, and you're going to grow and you're going to get better. And I think sometimes we shy away from being uncomfortable, but you don't grow like that. And so I just face it head on. Like, this is what it is. I love it. I appreciate you having me on here. I think it brings visibility to women's basketball, to Central Michigan as a whole. And you do a great job, like, representing Central Michigan and what athletics is about. And I think it's needed. And so sometimes you got to do stuff in life that you don't want to do, but it's just like working out, right? We tell our players, gosh, you might not feel like going to the gym right then and there, but afterwards it's rewarding. And you've accomplished something and you got better, you know, and that's exactly, take that into life. You know, when you go work in corporate America or whatever you continue to do after basketball. So it goes everywhere with you.
This is comfortable for me. This is going to be real uncomfortable for you. Let's go way back in the vault. You said it, Mason High School. We can go younger than that, and then you go to Michigan State as a player. Seriously, though, when did the greatness start, like, in terms of building yourself up to try and become a great basketball player? You're drafted early in the WNBA. You had a great career at Michigan State. You guys were phenomenal at Mason High School. When did that start, or when did you kind of evolve? How did you evolve into that?
I give credit to my dad. I was in middle school, and he's like, you need to keep practicing and go outside and do all this and keep working. And I'm like, why? I'm better than everybody. And I was in Mason, Michigan, and I think it was 7th grade, and I didn't really, like, go to a lot of camps, and I was just involved with Mason. And so he's like, oh, we're going to change this. And so we went to Lansing. We found it's called YBOA at the time. It's like AAU, club basketball. And I played with a bunch of Lansing players. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, Dad, you're right. Like, I'm not the best player. And I got to keep working. And I think that was a turning point for me. For just being exposed outside of little town of Mason. And I didn't really know if I wanted to play college. I always went to Michigan State games. I always dreamed about being on that floor, but I never knew if I was good enough. And then high school year, you know, some of the upperclassmen boys, they would call me, like, freshman phenom. And then when I was a sophomore, like, sophomore sensation. And they just kind of had these nicknames for me. And then I just kind of like, oh, I can get in some college interests and stuff. And then I'm like, yeah, it's over. I definitely want to play in college. I have what it takes. And Michigan State was my dream to play there, even though I was being recruited by other universities. I actually entertained Michigan, which is...
Wow. Kristin Haynie said she entertained Michigan. What?
Well, who was the coach there? The legendary Sue Guevara. You know, so
that's true.
I loved her energy, her passion. I just loved what she was about. Heather Osterly was on the team, and I just knew a lot of players, my AAU teammates playing at Michigan, and I was just comfortable there. But I'm like, geez, being a Sparty all my life, it was going to be a difficult decision to make. So after college, I knew probably junior year I wanted to play pro. I think some coaches, scouts were talking to the coaches like if I was interested in going to the next level. And again, it was kind of similar from high school to college. I'm like, I never thought I wanted to play pro. Even though I told my parents in elementary school I wanted to be the first female basketball player to play in the NBA. So I had dreams to play pro back then, but then, you got to have a reality, your perception about yourself, and I'm like, okay, I can do this, and, just kept working, and I got there.
You certainly did, and the career that you had, and then to get 2005, I mean, what a year for you. You guys still the only team to get to the national championship at Michigan State, and then you get drafted in the first round. I think you're pick 9. Mm-hmm. You guys win the championship in the WNBA. I mean, what do you remember about that 2005 year?
Yeah. 2005 was surreal. I mean, looking back, holy cow, it was such a whirlwind.
21 years ago, by the way.
21 years ago. And Michigan State honored us this fall. It was pretty cool. Only a couple of our players didn't make it from that 2005 team. So the 20th anniversary, that was pretty awesome to just, relive the memories. I remember senior year in college, we knew we were good, but we didn't know how good. And as the year kept going, we're like, okay, yeah, we're really good. And the rankings and media and people, like, we were still underrated. They didn't think we were that good. And, I think we were 32-4. We lost a few games, and it was just super cool because that's one of the reasons why we recruit what we recruit. And we just all got along. High character players, people. We all got along. We had really good chemistry, and that's one of the main ingredients to success is how's the locker room. Do we have selfless people? And so we look on the court and we look to see when we're recruiting, do they slap their teammates' hands? Are they engaged with the coach? Are they nodding when they're being coached? And we don't have players that have bad attitudes, that we like to recruit, and we don't care how talented you are, because that's who I played with. I played with a bunch of players that just wanted to kick butt. At the end of the day, they wanted to win no matter how we got there. And then getting drafted and going to a team like Sacramento and winning it was the same. Like, we weren't the most talented on paper, but, man, the defensive system that we had with Coach Wiz and just our camaraderie was awesome, especially at the pro level. Our chemistry, we had very selfless people on the team. We just wanted to win. And it was super cool to just think about why we were so successful at the college level and at the pro level. And it's totally different because you've been with your sisters at Michigan State for 4 years. And then you just are getting to know your pro teammates. And so it's just powerful. Like, at the end of the day, if you have one common goal and it's bigger than yourself, it's about the team, it's about the program, then you can go far.
I'm thinking of the names from that starting lineup or that Michigan State team. Lucas Perry, Lindsey Bowen was your backcourt mate. Mm-hmm. I think, was it Liz Shimmick that was inside? I mean, do you still keep in touch with those players that you built those relationships and had that great run at Michigan State with?
Yeah, we still keep in touch. We have a group chat. I think I wish we were more in touch more frequently, but everyone, Victoria Lucas Perry has about 5 dental offices that she manages, that she owns, and like, everyone's super busy. And so that's why it was super special for them to come back in the fall and us get honored at the football game, and we spent a couple nights together. Robin Freilich had us all over the night before, and it's a family, and that's what it's all about, is just making memories and enjoying who you're making memories with, and being able to catch up where you left off, and that's super special.
All right, couple things I got to mention from that 2005 season. Number one, do you remember the team you had the first ever women's triple-double in the NCAA tournament against?
Stanford. Just kidding. Oh, do you know?
I think it was Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember?
Vanderbilt, yeah. So
Vanderbilt?
We can, yeah. I think that was in the Vanderbilt game was in the Sweet 16.
That sounds right.
Yes. And, again, that's just my teammates make me look good. I love to rebound the ball, but our players were super efficient, and they helped me at the time get the assist record at Michigan State. But that's obviously triple-double. That goes to the team, not just me.
Okay. I knew she was going to say that. I knew she was going to say that. How much were you down by against Tennessee? What was the largest margin before you guys came back?
It was about 16.
16 is correct. All right, here's my last one. Who scored, who missed, and then scored the first basket of the championship game?
It had to be me. I don't remember that, but miss, and then so I got my own rebound?
No, you missed on the first possession,
Okay.
and then I think second or third possession, you had like a little lean-in glasser in the middle of the lane.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It was the footage is a little grainy on YouTube, but I was
talk about that. Yeah, I don't like to watch that game because we lost, obviously, but it was just super special because, you know, even back then, some of the commentators were like, Michigan State, we're #1 seed in whatever region we were in, and they're like, oh, they're ranked too high, even though we've only lost 3 games all year. You know, so it's super cool just to prove the doubters wrong. And, you know, being down 16 with about 12 and a half minutes left against Tennessee, took a lot out of us. You know, I think we were a little fatigued in that Baylor game, and we didn't give it our best. But we did give it our best, but we were just fatigued. And I'm just super proud of just the adversity that we had throughout the year, and just us coming back from it, and just staying together. You know, we almost lost in the round of 32, and it was a super close game. We almost lost, and I was devastated. I'm like, holy cow, we didn't play this well and do this well together to come up short in the NCAA tournament. And so that turned us around, and for us to fight back and have a different mindset coming into the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 games, it's just awesome. It's a great feeling, man. When that ball tipped, it was RCA Dome in Indianapolis where the Colts played, and there was like 24,000 fans. And just to be able to be a part of that was super awesome, and to do it with the sisters that you blood, sweat, and tears with. You know, Victoria Lucas Perry, Renee Haynes, they were sophomores when I was a senior. You know, they played a lot of minutes their freshman year and my junior year. And with Lindsey Bowen and Liz Shimmick, they were juniors. And they, you know, they played a lot their freshman year, and then myself and Kelly Roerig were seniors, and like that core, we played a lot of minutes together, and we just always go down memory lane, and you know, super special to relive it. And I think, you know, my parents and grandparents, they saved a lot of memorabilia stuff, articles, and at the time you're like, yeah, go. I mean, I don't want it, you know. You're in the moment, you're like, but really grateful and thankful. You know, they brought those things out, you know, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and you just appreciate them saving that stuff, because I have 2 kids, and I love talking to them and showing them, you know, old newspaper articles and just, you know, footage and stuff of back in the day, and it was super special.
Well, we know that she could play back in the day. We know that she can coach now, but I think we got to go see if you can still play now. You want to go play some pig real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. I got to stretch a little bit. You know, shooters warm up, so I got to do a couple warm-up shots. If
Well,
you're
that
okay
means
with
that means I can just get right in and play. I don't need warm-up because I'm not a shooter.
Me neither. I'm trying to be a shooter, so I don't want to embarrass myself.
Listen, I'm going to use the 28.5 excuse like all game because I haven't shot in a 28.5 since like high school.
Well, I was debating on whether to get you a men's ball. I can get you a 29.5.
No, then I don't have a built-in excuse.
Okay, all right.
Who
good,
shoots first?
I'll let you shoot first.
Yeah, because
Go
I'm the
ahead.
underdog.
Yeah, the underdog
All right.
can go first.
You know what? Let me step to the free throw line here.
Remember, it's called free throws. Free.
They are
Adam.
free. I feel like you've said that to your players a couple
Yeah,
times.
let me try it too while I'm talking. See, you always do the same rhythm, and then it's automatic. Dang it.
Boom. All right, we're still alive. You know what? How about I just try and make a layup? Let's get on the board here.
Oh, crap. All right, let me get back to this. Maybe next time you'll make your layup. if you get it next time.
Oh, woo. You got any pointers for me?
You just got to do the same routine you did in high school. That's all I do.
That was, do you know how long ago that was? What is your free throw routine? I didn't even watch.
I spin it, and then I dribble 3 times.
So, okay, so I did spin and 2 dribbles. That's what I remember doing.
Okay, go ahead. Hey, you forgot to,
Right
spin
here.
and 2 dribbles.
Right here.
All right.
Oh! See, if that's a 29-5, it's right in the bucket.
Yeah, that's why we should have got you that ball.
Okay,
But,
P for me.
all right. Let's do a bank shot. Do you know what a bank shot is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A bank shot's supposed to go in, isn't it?
It is. Maybe next time.
All right, let's go baseline. I gotta make 1 shot, don't I? Jeez, oh Pete's. There it is.
Hey, that's good self-positive talk.
That's right.
I gotta make a shot.
Pep talk. There we go. All right, let me find another.
Still
So,
P to nothing.
do you still get a chance to like play? Do you shoot around, or like what is your what's your basketball playing like these days?
I've been told I gotta hang the shoes up. I can't play anymore. I definitely, I don't want to get the old people injury where they rupture their Achilles.
Yeah, that always happens.
Yeah, so I've been trying to relax a little bit. Every now and then we'll have shooting competitions against the team.
Okay.
Yeah, with shooting, I mean, I don't still got it, but
Yeah.
you know, I think when I was in high school, college, pro, I had a different form, and I wish my form now I would have been a lot better shooter.
Yeah.
You know, one of my coaches, Al Brown, who coached with Pat Summitt for a lot of years, won national championships, he was like, "Why don't you dip the ball?" And I'm like, "Dip the ball," because I get it, and I just shoot like this, and my shot was always flat. So now I get it, I dip it, and I have more arc. It's more smooth, and I would have been a lot better shooter if I would have been told that.
Things you learn.
But it's all good. Everyone has their different philosophies with dipping or not dipping, but for me personally, I wish I would have dipped. So I'm a better shooter now than I was 20 years ago.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try a running reverse layup.
Okay, running, so you're
Well, I
are you
mean,
gonna
like
dribble?
we're gonna get going to like a jog. I don't know if it's gonna be a run, but here we go.
Let's see it.
Layups are just not going for me.
I'm gonna try my bank shot again.
There it is. All right, so Tim Duncan was known as the, this is like the Tim Duncan angle from the
Yeah.
NBA. Is there a WNBA star or college basketball player, women's side, you think of that like to use the glass?
Candace Parker liked to
Yeah?
use the glass, yeah.
Okay. 28.5, Candace Parker, this is for you.
Oh, you failed
PI.
there.
Dang,
Is it PI?
it's PI for me.
Dang.
Missed my free throw, I missed my bank shot, I'm not making my
Let's
layups.
try it from the MAC. Maybe
Okay.
that's in your range.
I gotta make this. If I don't make this.
Oh, man. I'll give you a redo. I'll pretend that I interfered.
What if I missed the read? No, I'm gonna hit this. All right. There we
you
go.
Good job.
Still alive. Thanks for the redo.
You're welcome.
From the elbow. What was your favorite shot in college? Like, where'd you like
You
to
want me
get
to show
to?
you?
Let's see it.
Pull up. That's the
Still looks
mid-range.
good.
I tried to, teach Maddie
Yeah.
that pull-up game. I told her she takes after me.
You tell her she needs
Just
to watch
kidding.
some film
She's
from 05.
a lot better pull-up game than I did.
All right, trying to hang on here. Hey, there we go.
Is there a spot you want me to shoot from?
I think that just from where I watched last night in preparation for this, you hit the bank shot in the lane. There's a guard here, and you kind of like went up and in. That was the first
So you
buck of the
want me to
natty.
do that?
Yeah, you got to hit that.
All right.
There it is. You still got it. Okay.
Bank shot.
You're starting to heat up here. You're making a lot of your shots. All right, so you just kind of went offside and.
Oh. Well,
I didn't expect to win. I'm not gonna lie. So this isn't surprising, but
good
hey,
game, sir.
that's good stuff. You
Thanks
you
for
still
playing.
you still can play a little bit, I think.
Well, the bar was a little low.
It's really low. All right, Pig champion, Kristin Haynie. Add that to your list of accolades that you've got stored away. You know, the other thing before we talk about your team to kind of wrap up, you were a really good soccer player, and I can relate to that because I played soccer growing up, but like you got Division I offers to play soccer. How did you end up deciding basketball was where you wanted to go?
Yeah, some people say that I was better at soccer than basketball, but I just love basketball more. I didn't work at soccer. I just played it because I enjoyed it. And I was a left foot kicker, which is weird. I do everything with my right, but on the soccer field, I kick with my left. And obviously there's not a lot of lefties, so I think that kind of helped with colleges liking me, being on the left side of the field. But I was fast for my age and a pretty strong foot, so I just played forward and just scored a lot of goals, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. We were really good. I think if I would have played my senior year, that was a special team. We may have won the state, but I just wanted to prepare for basketball, for college. But that's all the sports I played, basketball and soccer.
Did you ever, Kristin and I, we went to rival high schools from the 517. She went to Mason, I went to Eaton Rapids. Did you ever lose to them in basketball or soccer? Do you remember at all?
I don't remember losing to them, but I also have a bad memory. All I do remember, though, is Eaton Rapids. The fans there were pleasant. They were pretty awesome. They were not negative and talking bad to us. You go to some gyms where they're kind of bad. And Eaton Rapids always had a really good fan base.
I'll take that.
The Greyhounds.
That's right. The Bulldogs against the Greyhounds, and now you're a Chippewa after you went to school as a Spartan. And you said it kind of at the beginning here. I mean, this has been a turnaround season. You guys are in the middle of it right now. You're 3-2 in MAC play as we record this. But the two losses have been close losses. How are you feeling about this group as you get through the thick of conference play and you finish out and hope to make a run in March?
We're feeling good. I think we're in a really good spot. Disappointed in the two losses, not because we lost, but how we lost. And, they at home, it was disappointing against Ohio. They scored way too many points. And we're up 7 with like a minute and a half left, and we got to be able to close games. So we learned some lessons from that game. And the next two games, Bowling Green and Kent State, we're kind of in the same situation. And we finished those games better than Ohio. So, you got to go through those experiences sometimes to grow and to learn. And then against UMass, I mean, tale of two halves. We scored 19 points in the first half, and the second half 53. And it's just like putting that consistency together is our goal. And, you're supposed to be great in February and March. And, we're still learning. We're still getting better. And we're going to get it together. We just got to figure out how to be consistent in the games.
That's part of the next question here. The consistency, obviously, is how you guys become great. But what are the couple pieces of, if you break it down smaller, like what parts of your game or your games need to be more consistent to get to that great level in February and March?
Defense, I think just locking into the defensive game plan, who you're guarding. You have 5 players out on the floor. They all do different things. So really locking in on what the personnel is, who you're guarding. And, man, when we're locked in, when we see that fire in their eyes, we're really good, and we're hard to score on. So defensively is one point of emphasis, and, making shots. I mean, threes and free throws. We've been up and down in both of those areas. So, we're at one of the top for three-point percentage, but the last couple games we've been struggling at the three-point line. So getting that back, scoring the ball a little bit better from the 3 and free throw line.
The last one I had for you is just the chemistry of this group. One, to see the great freshmen that you had last year and to have them come back. That is now rare in college basketball, to get a player to stay 2, maybe 3 years. But there also seems like you guys, coaching staff, players, there's a commitment to your chemistry and just the culture. And I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but it truly seems like this team and your staff, you guys really enjoy being around one another. Yeah,
we do. And that we did a team building exercise the other day, and the team, the players said, one of the strengths of this program is culture. and that's huge. And that's how we recruit. You know, like I said at the beginning of this, is just character. The character matters. Selfless people and just great humans, and that helps build that culture and that chemistry. You know, I think it was in the summertime, one of the players is like, "You're going to come eat with us?" And it's like, you're inviting the coaches to come eat with you? Like, you guys want to be around us? That's pretty awesome, because usually players don't want their coaches around. You know, so they like us, which is good, but we're not supposed to be their friend. You know, they like us because of who we are. We care about them as people and not just basketball players. So they know we care about them off the court, and so that's pretty cool to have them ask us to come eat with them.
That's it. This wasn't too bad, was it? You made it through?
No, that was not too bad at all. You make it easy, so appreciate you. You throw like not curveballs, but what is it called?
The EFIS pitch, the lob, softballs
like
in there.
Home run. Yeah, you throw those home run hitters. So appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate that, and awesome to have you in year 3 as our coach representing Central Michigan. And obviously, I mean, for people don't know, you are a legend in the state of Michigan. Started right there at Mason and then continued in East Lansing and obviously in the WNBA. But to have your name be attached to Central Michigan just adds to the great individuals that have come before us in anything, in sports, men's, women's, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of great people attached with Central Michigan, and it truly is awesome to see you lead this program, and hoping you guys have a strong finish to the end of the year. So thank you for everything that you do for us.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate your words. And again, like I said, I want to re-thank you again for what you do for just Central Michigan athletics, and for a long time. You've been here for a long time, invested, locked in, super passionate. So we appreciate everything you do.